Hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now, before I begin, I do want to wish a happy birthday to my friend, Mr. What If. He's a buddy of mine, I've talked to him, we've done the collab, and he's actually pretty chill. I do actually like his content, and I do just want to wish him a happy birthday. Now, he actually does live a couple hours ahead of me, so it's already past 12 for him. Now, happy birthday, man. Now then, let me begin. Deku, he would wake up after the events of last episode. Or last part. Now, he is actually stumbling around confused as Mina would hear a loud ruckus upstairs. She would immediately walk into the room as she sees Deku basically stumbling around and trying to get balance on his feet, as whenever he actually does move, he basically just zooms to that place and immediately just smashes into the wall. Over and over again. Along with the fact that whenever he does open his eyes, he immediately just starts having his hair raised as he erases Mina's quirks. Now, Mina is actually confused by this as she's watching this, and she's just watching as Deku, not only is that happening, but he actually just is very confused by this. As Mina will basically walk over and get Deku to sit down. As she does so, some of Deku's guys come running in as they see what happened. Deku is basically showing off these quirks, as one of his men would actually ask, "What the fuck? But boss, what? How did you?" Again, like I mentioned, all for one. He's a new ally. Now, this is so weird. As Deku, he immediately dials his phone and dials All for One's number. He did this in less than a second as he would stop and realize what he just did. People are in shock as he just presses call and puts it on speaker, telling his men to walk out and give him a minute. They would listen to this as this is freaking them all out. Now, Deku would just say, whenever All for One does pick up the phone, he would just say that he's guessing that things aren't going like he wanted. No. Fuck, I feel like I just drank enough to kill a whale. What did you do? Well, it's to be expected. You're probably gonna feel like that for a while. Anyways, what I did was I pushed your body a little past its natural limit. Natural? Well, yes. The human body, without being altered, can handle 2 quirks. Like your friend Mina. Technically, people like, Endeavor's son, having a half and half quirk classified as 1, those are 2 different things. Your quirk, however, the way basically I mixed it in your genome, these are all separate from each other. Now, you may notice that the effects that it has on your original quirk may actually be strengthened or somewhat nullified or weakened, depending on whatever happens, or essentially how the quirks resonate with each other. Now, along with that, it's probably going to take some getting used to, but I also have one task for you. The boy. His name is Shinso. He somewhat has a backstory like you. People thought just because of his quirk, he's a villain. Now, I would actually like you to make contact with this boy. He is recently moving up into Class 1A. Moving up in the world, actually. Oh, so he's filling the spots that we took out? Well, yes, actually. Now, come into contact with him and use Eraserhead's quirk. I want you to talk to him and at least try and get him inside class. Well, basically get yourself a spy. Okay, and what do I tell him? Well, you're good with words. Just try and come up with something. Now then. Deku, he's just thinking about where the guy would be. Kirigiri immediately opens a portal as Deku, he tries to walk through, but he immediately turns on his super speed and he immediately just runs through, doing so as he actually just runs into a wall and immediately falls over. Now, after that, he would get back up and quite simply grunt, as Toga and everyone is trying not to laugh. Now then, Mina would immediately just step through, and she would just say that, pretty sure it's not that easy. Anyways, Shinso, right? So, where do we find him? Well, I do believe that they are going to be given 2 weeks off. Now, he doesn't train his physical body or his actual body, or his quirk, so we just need you to make contact. Okay. Now, they would basically tell Deku that this is his address, along with the fact that he will need a disguise. Deku, he would just immediately think that that's going to be a bit weird, so he just does one thing. He shaves the sides of his head, and he actually gets Mina to put a bit of acid in his hair. As he does so, he just moves it in targeted spots as he begins cutting out the green. And whatever green remains somewhat fades a little white. As that fades into white, Deku just cuts it all off, basically giving him an undercut. Now, people are actually looking at Deku, as Deku does one thing. He immediately just walks over, picking up a rag, or picking up, let's say that there's at least like a hat or a bandana or something nearby. He picks it up, puts it on, and immediately asks if anyone has a pair of glasses. They would just say yeah as Deku. He puts on the glasses and wraps the bandana around his neck, covering a little bit of his scars, if not his scratching incidents. Now then, he does so when people are looking at him as he would walk through the portal again, grabbing a hoodie, slipping it on, and actually bringing it all the way up over his head. As he does so, he actually does look up and ask people what they think. They're not thinking much of it until Deku pulls up the bandana covering his face and his nose. They are then actually a little impressed. Still a bit amateurish, but it's got potential. Well, you try hiding when your face is plastered all over the news. Fair point. Now, Karagiri would immediately open up the portal as Deku walks through, and he immediately realizes that he is actually just right outside the neighborhood, as he begins walking. Now, Deku, he's walking down the street as he would finally get to the apartment complex. He starts walking up the stairs. As he does so, he would see that there are two pros. They are actually just talking with Shinso. Well, let's say that Shinso hasn't been moved into the Class 1A dorms. But two pros, they're basically talking, and they would tell him that due to what happened, they have to be moved into different classes. Basically, they're moving up into Class 1A. It sounds bad, but it is basically what they need to do for the hero course. Now, Shinso would just take the letter, and he's actually just doing that. As he does so, he turns to his left, and there's no one there at the staircase. The pros are immediately wondering what he's looking at, as they would turn their heads, seeing nothing. They would then leave, walking down the staircase, as Deku, he immediately just basically looks down, and he sees them going downwards. He would then slowly move his way down to that floor, and just walk towards Shinso's door. He would wait about 5 minutes before finally knocking. Because I feel like Deku would wait for the pros to actually leave before you just knock on someone's door. Because I feel like they would immediately just check on him as soon as that would happen. Since students are being targeted. Now then, after that happens, Shinso immediately opens the door as he's wondering who this is. Deku, he immediately raises his head, pulling off his sunglasses, erasing Shinso's quirk, as he would immediately just grab him by the throat and lift his finger up. As he does so, he actually pushes Shinso into a wall, saying that he's going to make this brief. Wait, who? You're that kid from 1A. What? Your quirk. What is this? Oh, you like it? It's Eraserheads. Wait, why aren't I brainwashing you? I just said I had erasure its quirk. Now, listen to me. You can copy quirks? No, it was a gift. A gift? Listen to me. I know your quirk already. Brainwashing. Not very physically strong, but very actually strong. Now then, it's not flashy, so I'm going to make this quick. Before, as Deku, he turns his head seeing Shinso's mom. He just immediately tells him to give him a minute as he would run over with super speed, actually overstepping quite a bit, but he would immediately just bring his hand up, smashing her in the back of the neck, which would make her fall to the ground. Deku immediately grabs her, lowers her to the ground, and runs back over to Shinso, who has barely made it outside, appearing right in front of him and immediately just bringing his hand up once again. You don't listen very well, do you? Super speed? What happened to you? If you let me explain. Listen, I can promise you something. Well, I can't at all, but if you're lucky, you can get something. What are you talking about? We need someone in Class 1A. I at least need your help with something. I need you to get Kirishima to come to this location. Why? Because it's going to be very, very important. So, you're trying to recruit me or making me your spy? Yes, actually, basically. It means that you'll at least survive this. So why do you want me to survive this? Well, quite simple actually. You're strong and no one appreciates your quirk. I'm the same way until I got these things. Well, these two. You have 3 quirks. Yes, I just showed them off. Anyways, All for One, that's his name. He gave me these. I'm trying to make this brief because I don't know if there's any more pros nearby. As Deku immediately looks over the railing, seeing that the 2 pros are coming by to actually check on him again. Shit, do they make sweeps here? Yeah, they've been going up and down the block every now and then. Okay, listen. Fuck. Deku would immediately just say, this address, this street, this area. Tell the pros and I'll come back here and kill you and your mother. Now, anyways, if you try and blow the whistle on our operation, just know that I can get out immediately. As Deku, he just pulls up his phone, saying, portal. Now listen to me. I can at least promise you a quirk. What, are you serious? Yes. You can also come out of this alive, along with Kirishima. So, what's your business with him? He saved my life once. I'm trying to save his. Now, excuse me, I have a message to spread. As Deku, he would immediately just jump off the roof, and he would just fall through a portal. The pros would look up as they would just see a shadow on the ground. Well, they would see a shadow on the ground, which causes them to look up. By the time they looked up, the portal disappeared along with Deku. Now, Deku would immediately just fly through the side of the room, still carrying the momentum, as Muscular would actually catch him. Holding him by the shirt, he would just say, you know, you're a cheeky little runt, aren't you? Oh, you haven't seen half of it. Anyways, Mina, you want to go over the plan? Oh, of course. This is going to be so fun. Plan? What do you mean, plan? Well, from what I heard from that pro before we just turned him into a puddle, he said that All Might was still alive. Are you serious? Yeah, not just that, he's recovering in the hospital. You should have seen the look on his face when I held up All Might's head. Speaking of which, where is it? It's in the freezer. Deku would walk over and pull it out, saying that he plans on not only tearing down that basically funeral house, but he plans on sticking his All Might's head on a spike for everyone to see. Kirigiri, you think you can do me a favor? Well, sure, what do you want? I need all of us to directly go after that funeral house or that memorial building. So, you want to piss off the heroes even further by not only destroying where they bury their heroes, bury their fallen, you also want to put All Might's head on the front door. Well, yes, actually. You son of a bitch. I'm in. Yeah, I'm into. Might be pretty fun. Mina immediately just starts sparking with full calorie, just saying that she's ready. Mina, I have a question. What is it? Which of us is faster? Oh, come on, Deku. You know I'm not even going all out. Fair point. Still, good question. As Deku, him and Mina would immediately just get in a running place, as Kirigiri would just open the portal and say that they have about 3, 2, as he says 1, he immediately just says go. These two would immediately just run through the portal as Mina and Deku, they immediately just appeared in Aldridrin, as these two are now just running as fast as they can. Deku's running around, I want to say he's probably going about 200 miles, at least. I want to put him around that speed. And the reason I want to say that speed is because this is a pro hero and Deku's still getting a handle on the quirk. Not just that, I want to at least put him above Ingenium level, which I believe Ida's only at 150, so Ingenium would at least be able to basically catch up on Deku. Plus, he doesn't really know how to control the quirk right now, so that's me lowballing him a bit. Now then, Deku, he would immediately just run as he sees the memorial. Mina is actually right next to him as she's actually pumped herself up to 30%. Are you sweating? Oh, no, crust me, I'm just warming up. Oh, really? As Deku, he just goes a little bit faster. As he begins taking off his glove, Mina and him would both circle the building as Deku and her are just taking down pros as Muscular gets portaled in. As that happened, Muscular just immediately begins by knocking over pillars as Deku and Mina would begin by circling the building. As that happens, Deku and her would both stay out by the front as Deku immediately just does one thing. He tells them all to get clear, as Deku immediately just brings his hands down and immediately just starts letting loose Decay. As he does so, everything in front of him starts getting obliterated. As he would bring his hands up, he would just tell Muscular to move. I'm not taking orders from you, runt. Well, yeah, if you don't want to get hurt by my quirk or affected by it, I suggest you move. Why? Because what I'm about to do is probably gonna really cause some damage. Really? Alright, now I'm interested. As Deku would watch as Muscular is coming around him along with the rest of the league. People are gathering around as Deku, he just brings his hands up and he starts moving them as fast as he can. As he just pushes them onto the ground, he just starts punching, well, basically pushing his hands down more and more as everything in front of him just starts decaying and melting into dust. As that's happening, Deku's forcing his decay forward as he's taking out everything in that entire radius. Deku immediately just tries focusing his quirk to about 45 degrees in front of him. As he does so, he would just watch as the more he essentially forces his hands onto the ground, the stronger it gets, as he eventually just pushes his hands as much as he can and lets loose. The rest of the villains are in shock as they watch the entire building in front of them and everything behind it just obliterate and be destroyed. As heroes would finally arrive. The ones that aren't dead. Ingenium would actually just... Let's say Ingenium was actually in the city. Because his brother was being buried and, well, they were technically heroes in training. So they at least got the honor too. They at least got the honor to be buried at the Hero Memorial. Now, after that, Ingenium would just say that, "You're the man who killed my brother, aren't you?" "Oh, not man. I was actually one of his classmates." What? You knew him for an entire month and yet you still killed him? Did you even hesitate? No, actually, I didn't. Anyways, I'm just here to give you this, as Deku immediately just pulls out All Might's head. Everyone's in shock as they're just yelling that that's not the real All Might. Really? Looks pretty real to me. As Deku just immediately just tosses it to Ingenium. Alright, well, see you guys later. As a portal opens up behind all of them. Deku would just poke his head through saying that, I'm gonna have a little fun with Ingenium for a little while. Get a hold of this. You guys mind? No, actually. Just don't get caught. Alright, Mina, you wanna join me? Sure, why not? Get rid of the rest of the Ingeniums. Why don't we? Alrighty. It's a plan. As Deku, he's still watching as Ingenium's in shock, holding All Might's head. Deku immediately just begins by stretching his legs, as he actually starts popping everything. Alright, Ingenium, was it, right? Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going with the rest of the league, so if you want to catch me, I would recommend you try. Cause, bye-bye, as Deku immediately waves off and begins running. People are in shock as they only heard about his Decay quirk. Now he has super speed. Now, after that, Mina, she just waves goodbye as she just starts running off too. Now, I don't exactly know how fast One For All makes you, but All Might at 70% is Mach 49. So 200 miles, I want to say, isn't that big of a stretch. Now then, Deku, he is running by as Mina is actually right next to him. Deku just says that let's get up a little higher, as Mina, she actually does agree with him, and she actually just grabs Deku, and she steps off of one foot, leaping through the air as she would land on top of the roof, and the two would immediately just start running. Now, this is whenever Ingenium, he's trying to catch up, but the fact that they're on the roofs now is a little bit difficult. Now then, Mount Lady would actually arrive on scene as she sees these two and she's actually very confused. Now, she would actually just grab Deku as he was moving slower. Or at least he was easier to see. Now then, she just thinks that without the ability to use his hands, she at least has him right where she wants him. As Deku would just say, no, not really, as he immediately just turns on Eraserhead's quirk. She immediately just begins by shrinking down and letting go of Deku. Deku, he just immediately turns on his speed in his arms as he tries to actually slow himself down. As soon as that happens, he just starts by making circles above him, and that's not working. He does slow himself down a bit, but that's whenever he just goes all out and is moving his hands as fast as he can. He would then let himself down as he just takes off his quirk, takes off his glove, walking over to Mount Lady. You know, I'm not surprised, but do you want to know one thing, Mount Lady? What are you? Oh, I'm King Nothing. You want to know why? As Deku just points that way. Mountain Lady immediately turns her head as she sees nothing there. What happened there? Oh, I happened. My quirk is very deadly. Decay. Destroy anything in my path. I believe I've earned that title. Do you? You're a monster. You're a monster just as a child. There's no way anyone can be that powerful. Not even All Might. Oh, All Might. It's really funny you mentioned that. I left his head at that memorial. Also, tell Class 1A one thing. They're next. As Deku, he immediately blinks and just takes off running. Now, Mountain Lady is left there shocked as she just somewhat cries. That boy is a monster, wearing someone's skin. Along with the fact that he just killed a lot of innocent people and is saying he just handed over All Might's head to Ingenium. She's in shock as she just stops her chase, actually running over to the Hero Memorial in her giant form. She would find that Deku was telling the truth, and it is now public knowledge that All Might is dead. Now then, this would be playing on the news as Deku and Mina. Deku would just message Karagiri saying they needed a portal at this street. Karagiri would open it in an alley and Deku and Mina would just walk through. As Deku just starts stretching, Kirigiri just says that, you know, kid, you are very smart, but sometimes you are reckless. But this plan actually did turn out in your favor. How did you know you can use your quirk like that? Well, I've noticed that it's been getting stronger. Not just that. My ability to spread it further, it's been getting stronger too. I think my super speed boosted that. Really? So you think that just another quirk boosted your own? Well, yeah, so it would work with how quirks resonate with each other, right? You are smart and intelligent, I will give you that. As Deku, he is well pleased with himself. Now then, we haven't even seen what's going on in UA and their sports festival coming up. Now, I will actually be going over what happened with UA and how things are affecting them, along with things on Shinso and Kirishima's perspective. I wanted to do that in this episode, but I feel like just letting loose the knowledge out of the media that All Might's dead, and then now they're going to have a mole in UA. Another one at least. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys later. I'm going to go watch the latest episode of My Hero Academia, because I'm pretty sure it's already airing.